now we got something brand new for you, and that's CrossCode. And why is it new? Because it's just started on Steam as an early access game. And with me right here is Felix from the developer, who is Radical Fish Games, and maybe you can tell me a little bit about you and about your company and the game, maybe.
Yeah, so I'm Felix, I'm co-founder of Radical Fish Games, and we have been working for over 3 years on CrossCode, and now we want to push the game to the final version, so we think like about 1 year and we might have the final game ready for you.
So how long have you been working on the game so far?
It was like over 3 years, and this time we mostly worked essentially creating our own engine, but also polishing all the core mechanics of the game.
So for early access, I mean 3 years in advance, whatever you did in that time, it's really a lot. So it doesn't sound like you will offer some post-alpha thing where players should help you bug fix the stuff, but it's really, I mean, we're playing it here, and we also played it a lot, and it's really polished, it's really slick, and you're saying you have your own engine for that, so how does that come together? Is that very good, having your own engine, or what can you do with it? What is it?
Well, it usually depends. So usually creating your own engine is a very risky thing because it's a lot of work. You have to create a lot of code, you have to write your own editors. And we did this mostly because we used HTML5 as a technology, which is kind of crazy. But
it sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, and now the advantages by creating your own engine is that you can really optimize all the details specifically for your game. We have certain things in our...
So please go on. This is a show, so yeah, people are coming by.
So we have certain details in our physics engine which are really optimized for our specific game, like sliding around corners and details like this that you really notice in a very subtle way. And the advantage is if you are far enough and you have your own engine and it's working, you really know every corner of that engine, and it's really good to optimize every aspect, and you don't run into unexpected problems that often.
And so it looks really like some retro pixel Super Nintendo game, and some people said when they started playing it, like, oh, looks a bit like RPG Maker game, and then when they write into it, they, like, everybody says, wow, this is really cool and this is slick. And do you hear that often, and then how do you cope with that?
That's very what usually happens. We actually have a lot of Let's Plays, and it's always funny to see, like, they start the game like, looks nice, was top rated on some webpage for some reason. I go there and, oh, this feels nice, I'm moving around. And then there's the first battle, and then all of a sudden, whoa, this is so cool. And then it's like how the controls is, how the movement works. And that's exactly where the own engine comes into place, because having an own engine makes it easy to optimize all these little details. And this is also what this game is about. It's not so much about the graphics. I mean, the graphics are important, they need to be high quality, but you have a lot of nice graphics in indie games and games in general. To us, it's a lot about like how the details works, how the control works, how everything feels, how the pacing is of everything. And this is really where that you only notice when you play it. And that's again where HTML5 is actually pretty cool. I mean, HTML5 does not have the best reputation among gamers because a lot of browser games are very simple. It's like small casual games.
Yeah, but if you write your own engine there, like that can do so much like you just did. I didn't think that this is even possible with HTML5, so yeah. Wow.
I mean, the technology evolved and it's very early, it's very experimental. Sometimes we had to rewrite things because some API changed. But so we made it kinda, and now we really surprise people that way. And the best thing is, it just runs in the browser. And since our game really is all about how it plays, it's nice to have it in the browser because people can just go there. They don't have to install any plugin because even Unity for some reason freezes on my machine. It just starts immediately and it runs and you can play it. And that's how people can really see how the game plays, and that's important to us.
That's great, but I mean, it's not a browser game, right? It's just about the engine, because on Steam, the early access version, it just plays like any other cool game on Steam, so it's like a just normal, let's say, game that you have there, right? So it's like a full-fledged game, and everybody can try it out on Steam. Go to early access. There's also a demo available if you don't dare to spend these few bucks, but we really suggest you do. You take a look at the game and you can help evolving it, getting it larger, getting it better, getting your own ideas in there. So, I mean, just take a look, just go to Steam and find CrossCode and you'll see a really, really cool game ready for you there. Is that right?
I hope so.
Okay, so thanks a lot, and yeah, go check it out.
Thank you.
Und Und wir sind raus, Marco! Marco!
Cut, cut, cut.